definitely when I was a young girl, I learned how to cook rice under our house in Bacolod, Murcia. And I still remember the beautiful aroma of rice being cooked in a kulon-kulon or in a palayok. So this is newly cooked black rice. And this really brings back my childhood memory of learning how to cook rice in a palayok the first time. My name is Margarita Flores. I'm a cook. I actually say a cook more than a chef.
I am Josh Boutwood and I run Savage, Helm and the Test Kitchen.
My name is Chele Gonzalez. I'm the chef in Gary by Chele.
I never really had like any professional training to cook, but I've been working in the industry for the last 3 decades. I feel like I still learn every day. Grace Park is probably where I do most of my work with Filipino food, apart from the catering business that I run.
So I have a little bit of a mixed upbringing where I was born in the UK. My mum's English, my dad's Filipino. I then lived here in the Philippines as a young child, but then also relocated to Spain. And it was only in 2010 that I moved back to the Philippines. All of my life, I've always had rice on the family table. And one of my fondest memories and one of my favorite dishes ever is just bacon and rice on its own, as is.
I see rice, in many different elaborations and magic things. It can be enjoyed as a dessert, it can be enjoyed as a savory. I would say, depends on my mood. So culturally for us, rice is like a stew. It's saucy, it's rich, it's flavored, and it's something that is very comforting. No? Where I'm coming from the north of Spain, rice is not part of our daily food. My remember of rice, it will be more as special occasions. I don't see rice like comfort daily food. I see the magic in the rice. First, when I arrived to Asia, one of the things I was very shocked as a Spanish is that the rice is without any flavor. What you call here ulam, you use the ulam to put the flavor in the rice. In my culture, in my country, it's completely different. The most important when we eat rice is you make a stock. It can be seafood, it can be pork, it can be chicken, and then you cook the rice in that stock to make sure that the rice absorbs that flavor and is very tasty. Of course, after 9 years, I see in a different dimension. But culturally, the way we eat rice is very different than the way Asians and Filipinos eat rice.
Every culture has a different appreciation on rice and different applications as well. And that's not even going into the details of the difference in grains that they have throughout different countries. We would always buy an Asian style rice because that's what we were familiar to. So it could have been a jasmine rice, it could have been a sticky rice or a Japanese rice. It's impossible to not have rice here in the Philippines. So finding ways to create dishes out of rice has always been exciting to me because, anyone can boil a pot of rice. But to create rice in a perspective that is delicious, new and different, that's a challenge that we love to take in our restaurants. You can have rice anywhere in the world, but tasting Filipino rice, it's a taste of home.
It is the cornerstone of Filipino cuisine, and I think that the reality of, I guess, our Filipino life is that we need our rice, and it's a little sad that we can't produce enough of the rice to fill the needs of our entire population. But I think that challenge also has allowed our farmers to be a little bit more creative. It also allowed us to really appreciate the heirloom rices that were coming from the Cordilleras. The appreciation for rice grew in the last decade precisely because chefs started to be a little bit more particular to appreciate all the kinds of rice that were available locally.
I believe there are so many treasures in the Philippines, and the heirloom rice is one of them. Red, brown, glutinous, my God, there's so many.
I'll say the Cordillera heirloom rices would probably be the most iconic of our Filipino rice.
Sa Ifugao, based in my interview long time ago, they have almost 50 to 70 different kind of heirloom rice varieties. But as of now, when we started this project, I tried to scout different municipalities. May natira na 27 varieties. And as of now, the champion varieties that we are getting as of now, only 17 now are available, 17 varieties. So we need to revive those other varieties. My name is Jimmy Lingayo, the manager of this co-op. The name of this co-op is Rice Terraces Farmers Cooperative. Ako po yung nag-overall supervise itong project. Hindi lang yan, sinusupervise natin yung mga farmers na nagpo-produce ng heirloom rice para ibenta nila yung mga product nila dito sa co-op. Itong heirloom rice, it was grown for almost 2,000 years. Kung makita mo yung history, this rice terraces was constructed more than 2,000 years. So palagay ko yung heirloom rice talagang pagkatapos yung construction ng rice terraces, heirloom na ang tinatanim hanggang ngayon. Pero as of now, parang nai-extinct na yung mga heirloom varieties. Nung bata ako, talagang iyan ang kinakain namin at na-observe ko na talagang healthy rice. Kahit walang ulam, malakas kami magtrabaho. Aside from aroma, siyempre yung mga karakteristik ng heirloom rice talagang very attractive sa customer. Mataas yung nutritional value, mataas yung iron content. We organized this co-op since 2005 when a former Peace Corps came in our place named Mary Hensley. She is convincing us to export this heirloom rice. So that is the time that we organized this co-op. We organized the farmers just to get the volume for export. Welcome to Barangay Amganad. Dito nakatira yung mga most of the members of our cooperative, the Rice Terraces Farmers Cooperative. Dito yung mga rice field ng mga members sa co-op natin. Ito yung mga nagtatanim ng heirloom rice. So lahat yung mga palayan dito ay talagang heirloom rice ang tinatanim.
You are welcome to our barangay. What you see here is we are holding the rice gourd. Now this is the rice gourd, brought or made by our grandparents, and we have to put them in the granary so that they will guard the palay that we have put there. When the palay is dried, we have to put them inside the granary. So we will put the rice that is being dried, and then we'll put them there in the granary so that it will be stored there. We will get them when we need them, when we use them. So we have to put also inside the rice gourd so that they will stay there, and then they will guard the rice so that it will be safe from any pest. I am Mrs. Anna Habiling. I live here when I was small. And when we were small, we have been working with our parents in the field.
Punta tayo sa baba para makita natin yung processing center. Dito yung milling machine. Dito kami nagmi-mill ng pangbenta natin. Ito yung dehuller machine. Kung tignan mo, nababalatan lang. Pagkatapos yung dehuller, ilagay dito sa polisher para ma-semi-polish yung bigas. I-separate yung mga rice bran at saka yung whole grain. Pagkatapos, winnowing pa rin para ma-separate yung mga yung mga broken at saka alisin yung mga mixture para makuha mo yung quality rice.
It's really, really acknowledging the fact that when you meet and are able to shake the hand of the person that brings the produce to you, your appreciation for the ingredient and the produce becomes so much more. It really kind of like pierces your heart, because then it makes you realize that, like for example, for the rice farmers, every grain of rice is just so valuable. It's something that we normally would take for granted, but after I sank my feet into a rice field, and I did it only for like maybe an hour, but just imagine our farmers, they do this every day just to be able to bring grains of rice to our tables.
The money that they're actually receiving from this harvest that they're making is not substantial, but they're doing it out of the love of doing it. With any ingredient, you want to see where it's coming from before you use it, because it will attribute to a certain respect to the ingredient. That particular love reflects on the actual flavor of the rice as well, believe it or not. And at the end result, you get this such defined flavor from heirloom rice. You get notes of nuttiness, you get earthiness, you get this level of depth that you would not find in a simple white rice that's been milled to no tomorrow, where you lose all of its nutritional value. Heirloom rice is preserving all of that. We came to realize, that we had to have rice on our menu. We wanted to make sure that we can give our guests something completely different that they've never tried, or perhaps never tried. It pushed us to look into heirloom varieties of rice. And, our islands are so steeped in such historical or agricultural history that heirloom rice was inevitable. We had to use it. There's no other ingredient that is so well defined as rice is. If you say that there's rice on the menu, they know exactly what that rice should taste like. So it's a challenge for us, but a beautiful challenge when we can change and alter the texture, the flavor. We can use the natural flavor of heirloom varieties in order to really bring out a completely different perspective on something that they've grown up to love and like. So the rice that we had on our monochromatic menu, so this is a menu that was based on color. We're going to use Pinalisa rice from Jones in Isabela, and it's paired with octopus and ube. Let there be 5 seconds or 10 where they think about what is rice, but it's very different. And that's what we want to try and achieve.
Okay, magic is here. So this is what we use. We work with this farmer cooperative, and we mostly buy the rice from them directly from Cordillera, okay? Because I went there, I meet them, so they send it. So this one is a sticky rice, mountain violet. I never in Europe worked before with sticky rice, and we are going to do later elaboration that is very unique, because we make an ice cream with this rice, okay? Suman. So it's rice with coconut milk.
Here we're trying to use rice more in a different way, not just as a starch, but more on further elaboration. Like we're making into chips, the uses of rice, the starch content of it. Some of the rice we incorporate in ice cream, some of the rice we incorporate into chips. So the dessert name is called suman. So this is where we have 3 applications of the rice. So we have the black rice, the red rice, and the white rice, which is tinawon. So instead of doing the traditional rice cake with the suman, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a toasted rice ice cream. First, we're gonna have this black rice. It's actually nice. The black rice, when it's toasted, it's kind of like a popcorn. And then after we toast it, so this is ice cream base. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the toasted rice, and then we're gonna let it infuse for around 30 minutes. So the components of this one is the black rice ice cream. And then after, since suman is normally paired with mango, so what we have here is a local mango that we infuse with a bit of vanilla. And a bit of the juice. Then we're gonna put the ice cream. And then we're gonna put different rice chips. It's a modern approach on suman. And the rice, you can really taste it without actually feeling the carbs, no? But you can taste the rice that's there.
So we're doing 3 dishes that are some of our best sellers here at Grace Park that are served obviously with Filipino heirloom rice. This is our river prawn, the wonderful ulang, that's cooked with a little bit of butter and of course taba ng talangka. And we're serving this with our talangka rice. So it's basically just some nice white rice that we sauteed with butter and talangka. And we're going to top it with some biti, or the bladder sack of the abo fish from Camarines Sur. Next is, this is our Bago River sili. And the sili is usually like a 5-foot eel. And we made a lamayo of it. So it's like a light daing with some brown rice that has red and yellow peppers and a lot of spice, a lot of chili. So this is a red rice sinangag made with Ilocos garlic and heirloom rice from the Cordilleras, red rice. And we're serving it with some sugarcane field birds. We call this pitao in Negros. I grew up eating this a lot.
To revive the heirloom rice and sustain it. This is one of the vision and mission of this co-op. So we need cooperation from the farmers, cooperation from the local government unit, different agencies, so that they will help us to maintain these rice terraces, convince the farmers to revive so that they have income generating project out of the rice terraces.
The farmers spent months trying to harvest this rice or grow the rice. So for us just to not take any care in what we're doing right now would be an insult to all the hard work a farmer has put into it. But the thing is, artisanal farmers or heirloom farmers, they have this connection not to their soil, but also to what they're planting. And it translates to the final product. I mean, it's such a beautiful grain. It's milled just perfectly, where we're able to get some of these that are like that. And it shows how much love has gone into the actual product of this.
We allow people to buy heirloom rices here because of the work that we were doing with the Department of Agriculture. We were able to connect with farmers directly. It's wonderful that we can go straight to them without the middleman.
So I think, the heirloom rice will grow and it will become a treasure from the Philippines. Anytime soon, the rest of the world will admire, these amazing heirloom varieties. I see that it's gonna be something beautiful.
The story of the farmers was that it was very hard for them to convince their children to continue farming. They were all coming to Manila to work at BPOs and call centers. But when all of a sudden the demand, started to become so much bigger for Filipino heirloom rices, their children started going back and are now helping them plant. And I think that that's one of the most amazing things that has happened because of this new interest in Filipino heirloom rice.